Allô, allô. Le coq de l'école, le coq de l'école. Allô, allô. Le coq de l'école, le coq de l'école. Allô, allô.
What it do, Milwaukee? What it do, YouTube? What's going on? This is your boy Track Lacer, Capital Drive Hero, quarterback of the mill, and I'm here to talk about Avengers Part 2. This will be a non-spoiler review, so you go up here in the upper left-hand corner and you can get everything with the whole plot. If you're the type of person that don't mind getting it spoiled, or if you saw the movie yourself and you just want to skip right through and kind of go with that. But let me say first of all that the original Avengers movie is about a 9.5. You know, the only comic book movie I think was better than the Avengers was probably The Dark Knight. And it's kind of hard to argue against a comic book movie that had somebody win an Oscar. Rest in peace to Heath Ledger. But the first Avengers was just so good because the comedy was quick, the action was good, and it was our first time ever seeing them all together. And it was just amazing to see that it worked. With that being said, for the people that are saying that Avengers 2 is not as good as Avengers 1, you're right. But just barely. Like if Avengers is a 9.5, this movie is a 9. I'm sorry. And I've been watching movies all my life, man. So when you have a sequel that is almost as good as the original, you almost have to give it more built-in points. Because usually what happens, and this is definitely what happened with this sequel, is that part two tries to do more things. It's a little bit more risky. Um, they try things that they didn't try in the first one. So, some people are saying that it's the exact same plot as the first one. Not exactly. The only similarity is that there was one villain, Loki, Ultron, who at the end called in a bunch of backup. So Loki called in the Century, those crazy things that was flying, and Ultron called in his Ultron robots that we all saw in the trailers. That's really, the main similarity. But other than that, quite a few differences. Let's start out with the fact that they introduced three new characters. They introduced Quicksilver, they introduced Scarlet Witch, and they introduced the Vision. And if you want to be technical, they introduced Hawkeye, who was very outstanding in this film. So they need to get some props for that. Um, One of the complaints I heard was that Nick Fury, Samuel Jackson, really didn't have anything to do. Make sure you go see the movie before you accept somebody saying that, because Nick Fury, it was kind of a smaller role, but he's always had the role where he's the advisor. He's the guy that reminds them why you're here, why you became an Avenger, and his acting is just as strong as ever. Um, I think another thing that people are saying is that they didn't like the accents of the twins because they're from Eastern Europe, somewhere by Russia. That's also overhyped. So basically, what's going on is people are just finding things to nitpick about. So let me just tell y'all that if you've seen the reviews and people are nitpicking and saying this movie sucks or it's not as good as the first one, they just can't, they couldn't figure out anything else to do. So they just nitpick. But um the action scenes and the costumes are outstanding. Vision might have the most outstanding, costume, you know, possibly of the year. Like he looks amazing, when he comes on the screen. Um, Captain America got an upgrade, a new suit. Um, Quicksilver's outfit looks real cool. We know in the first Quicksilver he just had on a trench coat and some silver shoes, in a Walkman. But at least with this one, they gave him a nice little cool outfit. Um, I think that some people didn't like the new outfit that Black Widow wears, but it's really not that big of a deal. Like I said, with nitpicking. Um, Also, give the movie credit for the risk that it's taken. As I'm watching the credits, they filmed part of this movie in Italy. They filmed another part in India. They filmed another part in Africa. Okay, in addition to the United States. So, when you talk about being ambitious, you know, I found out from the credits that on the first Avengers film, when Black Widow was sent to find David Banner, and she sent the little girl as a decoy, and they supposedly are in India. I watched the director's commentary. They were in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Okay, so at least with this, they had a $250 million budget, and they gave you everything they had. I mean, they really went all out. Um, I think that the stakes were raised a little bit. You had more situations that were intense when you actually felt that somebody might die. For some reason with Avengers Part 1, you never got the feeling, that somebody might not make it. But just like they did on the one of the trailers here, when Iron Man says, I'm not sure all of us are going to make it through this one. And Captain America says, I don't have anything to do Saturday night. You know what I mean? It's like the movie is just more mature. They acknowledge that what they do is dangerous. Um, and I think another thing is that some of the reviews that I've seen felt that there was too many jokes. It's like, man, the movie is 2 hours long, okay, and you're supposed to be there to entertain people. I didn't mind the jokes. They were funny. They were consistent. They stay within the theme, of the first Avengers. And Captain America is very funny in this. Thor is very funny in this. Um, Hawkeye has a few lines that, his humor will surprise you because you're not expecting it. And Quicksilver has a few funny moments. Um, I would say, for my taste, initially you might think that Ultron is too funny, that Ultron jokes around too much. But if you really think about it, he comes from artificial intelligence designed by who? Tony Stark, Iron Man. And Iron Man is probably usually the funniest one out of the group. He wasn't as quite as funny as he normally is in his other movies in this one, but it's still close. I mean, he's still really up there. So for the people complaining about it, it's just consistent. If his creator is a funny guy that is always snarky, always pointing out irony, always having a snappy comeback, then it makes sense that Ultron would too. Okay? So I would definitely recommend this film. Um, there was a lot going on, but I think thankful to you guys out there in YouTube, uh, so much going on didn't overwhelm me. I was kind of prepared for that. So it went real slow and I processed everything scene by scene because everyone else was talking about how overwhelmed they were with how much information was coming out there. But since I was kind of looking forward to that, I was prepared for it. Um, there are some scenes that the crowd really, really reacts to, and you'll find out about that in my spoilers, and it's just a real good time. I do think that it also has some replay value. Like it's a movie that you can go see more than once because there is so much action and there are so many different characters that get shine in this movie that going to see it twice will probably allow you to focus more on one character than you did another one. So, highly, highly recommend it. Like I said, if you really want to get into the nitty gritty of things with the movie, go up here in the upper left hand corner and watch my spoilers review. And this has been another edition of Track Laces Opinions. But hold up, I do got to tell y'all one funny thing. I'm kind of wish that we could go back to the days of when the trailer hit the movie screen first instead of hitting the internet first. Because my guys right here, Superman and Batman, I promise you. And I went to see it the day before it comes out. It comes out officially today, Friday, May 1st, but I saw it last night, um, April 30th. But when the Batman versus Superman trailer came on, nothing. No reaction. No laughing. No woo. None of that. But I'm thinking to myself, that's because 75 million people already watched it on YouTube. So I was actually kind of disappointed. I actually wanted people to be more excited. And it was kind of disappointing to see that nobody reacted to it. So, in the comments below, let me know what you think about that. If you agree with me that you wish the trailers could kind of go back to just being debuted on the screen for the first time. All right, I'm out of here.